Alright, so hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today I want to sit down and talk about a company called Meta PCs, and I pretty much just found them on Twitter. I was just kind of scrolling through, and I think EVGA liked a post of theirs. We'll kind of get into that relationship here in a little bit, but it got thrown into my feed, and I was like, alright, another gaming PC company, might as well see if they're even worth talking about, see if, like they're offering anything good, and pretty much just kind of give you guys some insight on this company. And as you guys can probably see from the title of the video, my overall opinion on the company isn't extremely high. Just from looking at the product, it's just not competitive, and we'll kind of get into that. I don't want to be overly critical in this video. I'm gonna talk about what's wrong and how you can fix it and why it's wrong. Again, I'm not here to just trash on any company or any group of people that are just trying to make a living. I get it. But when it comes to helping buyers make informed decisions, that is what I'm here for. So yeah, I'm here to help you guys out, and hopefully we'll get into this. So Meta PCs is a gaming PC company like any other. They sell gaming PCs, and they've got a bunch of different ones. So they got the Phoenix, Chimera, Griffin, some ready-to-ship ones, and some accessories. And I took a look at them, and they're kind of going for the same overall premium kind of style of marketing for their gaming PCs. Like, they're going to charge extra for the fact that they're going to put a lot of time into the build quality, that you're going to get, I guess, some good packaging, some good cable management, stuff like that, which is a very saturated segment in the PC market. I mean, Digital Storms, CLX, Ironside. Ironside's actually going to be the comparison for this video. If you guys want to go see my talk about Ironside, you guys can go and check that out up here. But what I was trying to just get at is that it's an extremely saturated point in the market. So in order for you to even, I feel like, consider going into being a quote-unquote premium company, you have to offer something. Either you kind of have to go undercut the guys in terms of pricing, like people like Digital Storms and stuff like that, or you really have to go balls to the wall with all the extras that you're offering people when it comes to buying their PC. And so I took a look at their PCs, and I'm sure you guys can pretty much already tell the pricing is kind of crazy. So this is one of the PCs I took a look at. Now, again, I'm not trying to cherry pick or anything like that. This was just like the only PC that I could find that was like a quote-unquote comparison and a pre-built that you can actually buy today. So this is their Phoenix Stage 2, and this is on a mini ITX form factor in a NZXT case. And in terms of specs, you guys are seeing it's got a Ryzen 5 3600, 6 cores, 12 threads, and then for cooling, an EVGA 240 millimeter red LED liquid cooler. So, oh, another thing I didn't tell you guys, these guys are EVGA partners, so I'm assuming they have some sort of affiliation with EVGA. Most of their graphics cards, all the cooling, I think some other peripherals and stuff like that are only EVGA. Which is fine. I think EVGA is a good company. They make quality products and stuff like that. But yeah, you're going to be seeing a lot of EVGA stuff in here. And when it comes to everything else, you've got a B550i Gaming Edge Wi-Fi AM4 motherboard. So it's a pretty quality ITX motherboard. And then you're getting RTX 3060, 16 gigabytes of DDR4 memory, a 550 watt PSU, a 1 terabyte M.2 SSD, and RGB lighting kit. So it's pretty much the whole package for $1,700, and that's crazy expensive, especially for the specs. So if you guys are people who kind of understand relative performance when it comes to just looking at parts and stuff like that, and just kind of looking at pricing, you know that this is extremely expensive for a PC that has an RTX 3060 in it. I'm not going to pull it up, but just take my word for it. You guys can go on Best Buy and find a system with an RTX 3070 and an i7 in it for around this price, or maybe a little bit more. So when it comes down to the horsepower that you're getting for your money, it's not very high, especially with this PC, and that's kind of something expected. But the one part that kind of got me was this warranty service. So usually when you're charging a crap ton of money on top of the PC's actual value or kind of going rate in the market, you're usually going to be adding a huge warranty onto it. You're usually going to be maybe like throwing in like t-shirts, extra gaming peripherals, and a bunch of other stuff to add value to it. And the first thing that you see here is that upgrade your warranty, which is your 1 year included, which is mandated by the United States. Like if you buy a gaming PC or anything like that and something happens with the PC, like if a part fails, they are legally obligated to fix the PC for you within a year. This happens with every major OEM. Again, I'm assuming it's also working with SIs as well. So again, if you have a laptop and it dies, you get that replaced because they have to offer that by law. And because of this, they're saying, okay, you got your 1 year included. Okay, that's kind of standard, especially if you go buy a PC from CyberPower, iBuyPower, all those kind of cheapo brands. Those guys include the same 1 year warranty. And then they say upgrade to a three-year warranty for an extra $200, which is kind of insane. I really don't understand the reasoning behind asking for a 3-year warranty for an extra $200 when you're already charging a crazy amount for the PC. Like, you think that would be added into the cost. So for my example here, Ironside was a PC company I took a look at a little while ago. I think it was probably about one or two videos ago. Again, I'll have the card somewhere or the video linked down in the description. And I kind of was saying, when it comes to their company, they're kind of going for the same niche, but they have a lot of the nice to haves that people will actually value. So this is pretty much the same specs. It's got a very nice motherboard, very nice CPU, liquid cooling as well, 16 gigs of RAM. You have a worse NVMe drive, but you have a much better power supply, and you have a GeForce RTX 3060. So overall, this one's gonna like come out like a little bit better in terms of spec wise. You can probably change some. You can probably go for a lower end motherboard and get a higher end SSD for some more storage capacity if you want. That's not really what we're here talking about. But overall, this thing is going to perform exactly the same, and it's around the same price. But the reason why this one just doesn't even make any sense to me is because when you take a look at their, I think it's their about section. Okay, so here's the warranty. If we take a look at this, included with every PC, you get a 3-year parts warranty. So that means if any PC of theirs has any sort of problems, it's going to be replaced. Like if a graphics card dies, if a motherboard dies, if a CPU dies, if anything happens to the PC that is not necessarily your fault and it's just something that happens, they're going to replace it for free. And then if something does happen and it might be your fault, or if it's outside of that 3-year parts warranty, they still give you a 5-year labor warranty. Which pretty much adds way more value, I think, when it comes to buying a quote-unquote premium gaming PC compared to something like what Meta is offering. When it comes to like another gaming PC company, again, this is a smaller company and they might need to work on the website, but they're reliable. I've talked to them a lot. And Meta, again, I think is a fairly small gaming PC company as well. And for a system that has better overall specs than the Phoenix Stage 2, you're paying a good bit less. You're paying $200 less. So you have better specs, but you're paying less money. And again, these guys include a 1-year standard part warranty. So again, it's kind of like, I don't understand the value proposition that Meta is bringing to the table here. Like, you can have all the good cable management that you want. You can have all the good packaging that you want. But when it comes to the end user, you're not going to be tinkering around with your PC every single day. You're not going to be unboxing your PC every single day. So the cable management and the boxing of the PC really doesn't matter to the person as long as the PC gets to their house and functions correctly. And again, the other big part is just the warranty, just making sure that if anything does happen, it kind of offers these people peace of mind that nothing is going to happen with no extra cost. Again, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me why Meta would be going at these particular price points for their PCs. So I want to take a look at their system builder, and I know you guys probably already understand how this is going to go, but when it comes to customization and everything like that, they do charge, again, a pretty large premium. So you're getting an NZXT H510 case, no lighting, what is it? You're getting an RTX 3060, an i5 11400F, a Z590 motherboard, and 16 gigs of 3600 megahertz, which is in 2 sticks of 8, so dual channel, a 120 millimeter RGB LED AIO cooler, and a 750 watt power supply. Oh, and as well a 500 gigabyte NVMe drive. I think that is it when it comes to configuration, yes. And if we take a look at the Ironside PC that I took a couple minutes to put together, again, it's way less money. This thing is what, $2,000, $2,100, and this thing is $1,700, and you're having the same exact CPU, pretty much the exact same liquid cooler, some cool thermal compound, a motherboard. We can change this up to actually a Z590, and we will still be under what Meta PCs is offering, if it just takes a second to load. And then, okay, got the same amount of storage, same graphics card, a better power supply, or no, I think this is the same power supply, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, same power supply. I don't know the efficiency on this, but I assume it's the same. And yeah, it's just, again, it's the same exact PC, if not a little bit better, and it costs much less. You can get some of your own upgrades if you want to get a better GPU, better CPU. You can do all that stuff here in their customization thing, and you will still have a better warranty service and again, good packaging, good cable management, all the things that Meta is offering. So personally, the business model of Meta Gaming PCs doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. As someone who's just looking at this objectively, and someone who's kind of been looking at gaming PCs for a long time, I kind of know how the market works and what sells and what doesn't. Again, I know people who don't know a whole lot about PCs are probably going to end up buying these guys just because they might like the color scheme, the branding, or whatever. But for those people who actually want to get like some decent value out of their gaming PCs, this is a company that you shouldn't go towards. Unless they drastically start changing things around. Again, I know everybody is capable of fixing mistakes, but just as of right now, for the value proposition that you're getting, you're not getting any of the pros of a quote-unquote premium gaming PC company. You're not getting the main staple of a premium gaming PC company, which is the warranty service. And again, it's just kind of a dumb thing to go for. I wish Meta PCs would kind of just change some stuff around. I think that they have the capacity to fix some of their pricing issues, some of the branding issues, maybe offer, I don't know, maybe just try to get into a different niche in the market. Honestly, the premium space is extremely competitive. And if you're able to kind of offer budget values, which I think a lot of other companies have been able to do, it's a very, very good segment. I think a lot of companies get a pretty good reputation if you do it right. So this is kind of the little summary, or I guess the lesson at the end of the video. So if you're someone who's going out and looking for a gaming PC by yourself, right, let this company serve as an example of what to look out for. Make sure to look at all facets of the gaming PC. Make sure to check out the competition and see what kind of services they offer, what kind of build quality they offer, and again, the price of performance. Like how much performance are you getting with the amount of money that you're putting down, and can anybody top that? Is there another company out there that is offering the same exact PC or even better specs for a lower price? Because oftentimes, if you're looking at something like a premium gaming PC company, that is something that happens a lot, is other companies will undercut them by a good amount. Again, you just need to evaluate what you need in a gaming PC. Do you want something that is reliable and that you know for sure that if something breaks down, you're not gonna have to pay a cent out of your pocket? Or are you someone who knows kind of how to keep up a gaming PC, making sure that it stays running perfectly fine, you know how to troubleshoot it, and you just want to get the most value out of the money that you are spending when it comes to the processing power of the PC? So yeah, that's kind of my little spiel on these guys. Again, Meta, I hope you guys can work on this. Again, and this is just my opinion. I know half the time these companies really don't give a shit about what I have to say, and that is perfectly fine because I'm an independent reviewer. I just like to sit here and talk about this stuff. But I do want to say thank you guys for watching the video. It really helps me out. And if you guys want to hit that subscribe button, I'll keep on making content like this. It's fun for me. And if you guys like the video, please leave a like. Helps me out. And I'll hopefully see you guys in the next one. Peace.